Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwatium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, Shalom. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson, and here we are, man. I noticed the other brother from Vegas sit down, and it popped up, so I'm like, dang, look at that. I might go ahead and jump on that too. So it says, the Fox business, right? Because everything in this world is deal with business transactions, all these different things. That's what make the world go round, right? But it says Japan buys Russian oil above $60 a barrel cap, right? So this is their defiance against the U.S. because the U.S. was basically saying don't buy any oil from them, but if you do buy it, you need to buy it at $60 a barrel at this cap, right? Don't make them any more extra money or whatever. However what the purpose behind saying don't buy it above this cap is, right? But they're defying them anyway because these resources are needed. You need oil. You need to, for your military. You need oil for your, to heat your houses. You need oil for, numerous of different things. Especially the way they do things. Like a lot of these machines take oil. So the world is feeling the crunch of America sanctioning Russia, and then Russia saying, hey, look, I got plenty of oil. I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? So things are changing, man. Right? That power, that grip that the U.S. had, it's starting to slip. So what's happening? The allies, right? Because it says right here, breaking with the U.S. allies report, right? Because they're supposed to be an ally to the U.S. This is Japan has begun purchasing Russian crude oil above the $60 a barrel cap, breaking with the Western allies thanks to an exception authority by the United States. Right? So see, this is the US always trying to be a bully, trying to throw their weight around. Right? Saying that they gotta get the authority from the US. As many European nations wing themselves off of Russian oil in response to the invasion of Ukraine. Japan steps up and purchase of Russian natural gas. See, and eventually Europe is going to have to do that too, because Europe is the bottomless pit. right? They all their resources have to come from somewhere else, right? That's what makes them greedy. That's why the Lord said that their desires cannot be fulfilled, right? They can't get enough. They're as death. See, and when you're dealing with that beast system, NATO, EU, and America, which really they hide behind America being the bully, what really the Britain is what runs them, but they're hiding behind saying, "Oh no, we're a different people. We're a different country. Yeah, we're allies right now, but we're different." That's why even when it comes down, they're gonna break free off of the United States too, right? Yeah, because let's just go ahead and start here. Right here it says, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 12. Your mother, right? Which your mother is what? Great Britain shall be sore confounded. And see, and ultimately that's what it is. They're doing this tariffs and all these different things, and they're trying to pull back from using the Russian oil, which they need, which is accessible because it's just right there. You don't have to try to go get it from somewhere else. They already had these, was it the streamlines or whatever was called, Streamline 1, Streamline 2, that even because they were saying that was the MI6 or whatever, which is Britain's like CIA or whatever it is, help blow up the Nord Stream pipeline or whatever, right? But that thing is eventually it's gonna hurt them. They're gonna be confounded, and it's gonna hurt them, and they're gonna end up buying the oil above cap also with Japan soon, because they're gonna be so confounded, so in dire straits of needing that oil. She's that bored you, right? Which is talking about England, that whole region of Europe, right? Because if you think about all these so-called self-proclaimed white people that's here, they're from different parts of Europe, whether if it's England, Spain, France, they come from all these different areas all over Europe, Portugal, all these different places, right? So it's like this, she that bore you shall be ashamed, and ultimately, what all this thing is going to cause shame eventually. And behold, not and behold, but behold, Salakia, the hindermost, which is what, speaking about America, you're the last nation to exist. You're at the end. You're the last nation to exist. You're the end. The hindermost of the nations, right? Shall be a wilderness, because eventually they're gonna just get upset with this whole thing, and shoot missiles upon you. Be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, right? When the missiles hit this place, it's just gonna be a desert, man. A freaking desert, right? Yeah, so this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy, right? Confederacy basically means like another way of saying ally, have brought thee even to the border, right? They're going to so-called be friends or whatever, until the time that they can't be anymore. And you're relying on them being allies with you to the point that it's gonna it ain't gonna be beneficial for you in the end, right? The men that were at peace with you, see, Japan was at peace with you. Well, peace with thee, which thee means another way of saying you, have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, and they that ate thy bread, right? Receive your aid, your foreign aid, or whatever, however you want to call it. You're supposed to have, traded vehicles, electronics, maybe even military. Because I was reading part of an article saying that Japan had bought some Tomahawk missiles from America, but now they're buying the oil from Russia. After America put down the authority saying, no, you can't have it like that. Have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him, right? And so America's still holding on to thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to have this, I'm going to be this, thinking I'm going to have my allies. Look, it's all falling apart right before your eyes, and it's like you don't even understand it. You don't really understand it, right? You're trying to hold on. It was a saying a long time ago. Sometimes holding on to things is like trying to hold on to sand, and the more you're trying to hold on to, the more it slips through your finger. And that's what Esau's doing. He's trying to hold on to his kingdom, and the more you try to hold on, the more it's actually going through the cracks of your fingers, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto me, who's the he? That is talking the angel speaking to John the Revelator, or the one that the Lord loves. It says, the waters which thou sawest were where the whore sitteth, are people. So it's saying that water that you see, that water is people. Right? Because America has military bases throughout all the world amongst all different type of people. Right? And the multitudes and nations and tongues, see? To letting you know that they speak different languages. Right? It says, and the 10 horns which thus sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, right? And then those 10 horns going back to Esau's kingdoms, Greece, Rome, Spain, France, right? England, Germania Major, Germania Minor, right? All those empires leading up to America coming out of the being the 8th, coming out of the 7th, the 7th being England, right? So it says and shall make her desolate, right? Gonna make America desolate, which they're doing that now. Because they know this is pretty much a wrap for this place, for this whole thing. So the elite is really causing it. They're the one who's setting it up to burn down these chicken places and chocolate houses and causing a self-inflicted famine. So they're making it desolate and naked, right? Leaving it exposed without any real protection, right? Because Russia said that the whole city of Moscow can be saved from a nuclear blast. China's working on theirs. That they got, was it Beijing? The whole city of Beijing can be saved under, or at least 1 million. It said 1 million people in Beijing can be saved from a nuclear blast. Here in America, they don't give a dang about you. They're gonna leave you. They're gonna leave you naked. They're gonna leave you without any protection, and not to mention the 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 wickedness is being brought up. You're being made naked, and shall eat her flesh, right, with the ICBM missiles by fire, right, by and burning and with burning her with fire, right, with the ICBM missiles. Salakia says, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have put in their hearts, right, in their minds, just like it tells you in Ezekiel 38, that he should make an evil thought coming to the mind of Gog and Magog, right, which is Russia, that prince, Rasha, right, the chief prince, right. Right, so the Lord's going to do it to the rest of these other nations that America stemmed from, to fulfill His will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall be fulfilled, right? Because all this has to happen. They have to freaking shoot missiles on America, 200 million missiles on America, to make it what? A desert, man. And that's to fulfill the Lord's will, man. Yeah, see, well, so just go ahead. And that woman, and the woman which thus saw it is the great city. What great city? The Babylon, right? Which reigneth over all the kings of the earth. See? And that's what America's been doing. Through the UN and through England and all that other stuff, because that's why they back them through NATO. But the main catalyst they put in the forefront is America, which America's not really running a thing. They're just the face of this. So it looks like they're running it, but look, everybody's going to hold you responsible, right? So it looks like you're running over the kings of the earth, because you're the world currency, right, is the American dollar. But look what everybody's doing. They're defying it. They're stepping away from the dollar. Everybody's getting their nuclear weapons and saying, hey, look, we ain't afraid of you no more. Right? Yeah, so this Joel chapter 3, verse 9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. So all these other nations, that's why the Lord said he's gonna put thoughts in all these other nations' mind. You got your military bases everywhere, but they're gonna be like, you know what, hey, I don't want these devils in our land anymore, right? So the Lord said, among these Gentiles, all these other nations, prepare war, right? And that's what we're coming into, which we're already technically in, but it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Wake up, and that's what they're doing. They're like, wait a minute, man, this ain't lucrative for me to hold on to the American dollar. It's weak. It's steadily getting weak. It's steadily getting weak, right? The mighty men, right? Let all the men of war draw nigh. Hey, it's time to just rise up. The Lord's putting that thought within your in your minds. Those thoughts in your mind. Let them come up, beat their plowshares into swords, and their pruning hooks into spears. Right, dealing with your agriculture. That's the reason why a lot of those other people don't understand why they're cutting off the farmers. They're cutting off the farmers because they're not giving them the money, because they have to put that money towards military weapons, but towards protection, but towards this third world war. Right? Let the weak say, I am strong. See, and that's ultimately what they're doing to America. They're saying, look, y'all been the bully on the block for a long time. And of course your mother, England, she's hiding behind everything. She's the main driver behind all this. But her whole thing is, you're the front guy, so they're pretending that it's all America. Just so she can shoot missiles on you too. I'm ashamed of her. You put her up to it. But that's the devil. But that's why you're not finna be counted innocent. None of you nations. That's why the Lord said, hey, raise up these nations, man. Assemble yourselves. Come, all ye heathens. Gather yourselves together round about. Thither come. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, right? So it's time for the Lord to call the mighty ones to come down, which is what? Yahushai, Michael, all sorts of angels. The Lord had thousands and thousands, 10,000 and 10,000 angels, man. The Lord's going to call down the mighty ones, man. It says, let the heathen be weak, right? Amen. All these nations, through this self-inflicted famine and all this other stuff, you're all going to actually technically weaken yourselves, which is making you vulnerable, which you couldn't beat the chariots anyway, but it's even that much better. Even that much easier of a battle. Not that it wasn't going to be easy for the Lord anyway, but it just proves the power of the Lord. He gonna make you weak from the famine. The people gonna be weak. So much calamity. Your mind ain't gonna be able to think. You know what I mean? It'll be hard to process all the things that's gonna happen. Apparitions, wild beasts, beasts that we never seen, shooting sparks and tempests at him, seeing Leviathan, seeing all sorts of, man. Then not to mention the things that Esau created in this thing, and then that thing, they're even saying that it may turn on them. But they ain't talking about the actual elite. They're probably talking about these other so-called congressmen who think if they hold up the so-called their end of the bargain to their oath to be a square man or whatever, part of the light bearers, you want to be the Illuminati, and the real elite is going to be into the spaceships and all the other things, and you're going to be left here. And that thing's going to turn on you. Right? So you're going to be weakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, right? The valley of troops. The mountain of troops. The place of judgment, man. And for there I will set to judge all the heathen round about, man. So all the heathen on the earth are going to get judged anyway. So it doesn't really even matter. So shoot your missiles on America, destroy it, which the Lord said it had to be so. That's the Lord's will. Now, come on over here and get destroyed, man. Come get judged. So this is the end of the Esau's and the end of every other nation's rulership, man. Yeah, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable, right? Which, a parable is a saying against him, and a taunting proverb, right? Saying, saying certain words, certain things about this place, man. And they got taunting proverbs about America. They yell, chant death to America, and all these different things, the baby killers, right? Right. I seen one video where they were in what is this, Afghanistan or wherever they were at, and they were walking through a mall, the military, and the guy said, what are you gonna do? You come to have sex with more men? Talking about the American military, right? So they got their taunting proverbs against him and say, woe, right, which means destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth, to him that increaseth that which is not his, right? And that's another proverb that they say, because that's what you do. You increase that which is not yours. How long, right? How long is this going to, not much longer. We're in the Third World War. They're about to bring the grain of rice, and that's, hey, we're about done. We're about done with you heathens, man. And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. And see, the whole thing about this is a lot of you're trying to get away from the American dollar, but the American dollar is so wrapped up in the world currency is the United States dollar, but it's so wrapped up into everything that even you trying to get away from it is not really going to help you. And that's a batyat, and a batyat means what? A weight of pledge, right? And basically, in the ancient world, when you deal with the Bible, you would take your item to a brother. Like if the brother had some money, hey brother, you think I can borrow blah 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 blah? Can I get this amount of money? Can I get a couple shekels from you? Brother be like, yeah. Give me your pledge. That way I know you're going to come back and pay me back. Or you might just offer it straight up and down. Like you just, hey, I need some money. Here's my pledge. Here's this, my father's great heirloom or whatever. Some type of thing that goes back to you, that's valuable, that's really for your family. That you're supposed to carry it down from generation to generation. And so you hand them that to make sure you're going to come back and pay for it. So that way you could get it back, so you could still give it to your family's generation. Right? So that way you don't lose it. And, basically like a pawn shop. Right? It's like pawning. Like I think one of the examples they give you is pawn. Let me see. I used to see it. I don't see it right now. But I normally see it. It should be right here somewhere. Yeah, but there you go. A load of debt, which one has contracted, right? So basically, heavy debt, right? A bot yacht, clay, thick clay, and that's what America has. But then it affects the whole entire world, that debt. That's why they're trying to bail out of it, right? And it's basically going to catch everybody up, you know? Maybe if I hit that. Take a pledge, give a pledge. Yeah, see, there it is. To pawn. It's like a pawn shop, right? But the whole thing with this is everybody's money is so wrapped up in all these things. It says, into the debt of America shall they not all rise up suddenly, right? See, because of all this debt, it's really going to affect the whole world, and the whole world is getting uncomfortable. So they all suddenly shall not they all suddenly that shall bite thee, right? They're going to come back. They're going to be mad, angry. They're going to come bite thee, and awake, and shall vex thee, right? And ultimately, that's what's going to happen. All these places are come because of the financial crunch. They're coming. They're ready to vex America, and thus shall be for booty, right? Money, right? You're going to be for sale. You're going to be a slave. But the rest of the heathens are going to be slaves too. Unto them, because thus has spoiled many nations, right? They're going all around the world, taking resources. And who are they taking the resources for, technically? Majority. Though England, your mother, says she's going to be ashamed of you, and all the people of thy confederacy shall be against you, they're going to shoot missiles on you too. But who is that for? Who all this you going around the world stealing all the world's resources for? It's for England. It's for Europe. It's the bottomless pit. Everything, it don't have its own real natural resources. So most of what America's doing that for, it's doing it for Europe. But Europe gonna step back like they didn't have nothing to do with it, and then shoot missiles on America, man. So because thus has spoiled many nations, right? They put you up to it. You did it. You had to boast in your power, your military, your so-called muscle, your might. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, for the violence of the land, right? What is it? Vietnam War, World War I, World War II. It's all because of you, right? What is it? Desert Storm, bombs over Baghdad. This 20-year war they were just in that they lost. That the people took over. The goddamn Taliban took back over in less than a week. It took you 20 years, and the Taliban took over in a week. Right? Of the city, right, which is Babylon, that city, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the mystery Babylon, which is that city, of the city, and of all that dwell therein, right? So, with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. And a Bible ball.